Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ekisanar and in today's video we'll discuss how to install and configure the iRedMail server on Ubuntu. First, let's talk about what iRedMail server is. Essentially, it's an open source mail server package that includes postfix and allows you to use webmail clients like Roundcube. It supports protocols like SMTP, POP3, and IMAP. You can configure it with email clients like Outlook, Gmail, or Thunderbird using IMAP or POP3, and send emails through SMTP. I've listed the system requirements here as well. You'll need 2 GB RAM and either Ubuntu or CentOS. In this tutorial, I'll be using Ubuntu. Also, make sure port 25 is open on your VPS provider. Without port 25 open, you won't be able to receive emails from major ISPs like Gmail or Google. I've made a list of VPS providers that keep port 25 open by default, and I've included affiliate links. If you use these links, I'll receive a small commission, which helps support the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've covered many mail servers here and will be posting more videos about mail servers and email marketing in the future. So please subscribe to stay updated with new content. For this video, I'm going to use a VPS from DigitalOcean. To get started, go to Create and click on Droplet. As I mentioned, we'll be using Ubuntu in this tutorial. Select Ubuntu from the options, and then choose either the $10 or $15 machine, as both have at least 2 GB of RAM. The domain I'll be using is this one, and I've already created a password. I'll copy the password and select Toronto as the region. Then I'll enter the password and my domain name. I'm going to create 2 or 3 droplets. By clicking the plus sign, you can create multiple droplets. This is useful because if one IP is blacklisted, you can delete the droplet and keep the ones with clean IPs. Now, let's open MX Toolbox and select the blacklist check. We'll test the 3 different IPs we got. We'll keep whichever one is clean and delete the rest. After this, we need to set up some basic DNS settings. I'll explain that shortly. Let's check this IP in the blacklist. If it's only listed in UC protected, we can keep it. If it's listed in other blacklists, we should delete it. This one has 3 or 4 listings, so let's move on. Now, let's check the second one. We need to verify if it's blacklisted or not. It's important to do this check. If it's only in UC protected, that's fine. Let's check the last one as well. Okay, let's keep this one. It's IP 233. Although it shows more IPs in the blacklist than the first one, we'll keep it for now. So this is the IP of our server. Now we have the IP, the domain, and the password. The default user is root. Next, we need to set up some basic DNS records for your domain. You need to add 2 iRecords, one for your main domain pointing to your IP, and another for the mail subdomain also pointing to your IP. After that, you can update the SPF and DKIM records. We'll set up DKIM later using a command. So that will be done at the end. First, let's set up all the basic DNS records. I'll reload the page and open PuTTY. I'll create two-way records here. I'll set the TTL, time to live, to 300 seconds so it gets indexed quickly. You need to copy your IP and paste it in both records. First, add an A record for the root domain, @ and then another for the mail subdomain, both pointing to your main IP. After that, create an MX record. Set the MX record priority to 10 and point it to mail.yourdomain. So here, enter mail. Set the priority to 10. Then add two TXT records, one for SPF and one for DMARC. Let's copy the SPF record from here and replace this IP with your server's IP. That's the format for the SPF record. Do the same for DMARC. For DMARC, replace your domain in the format I provided here and paste it in. The host for DMARC should be _DMARC. Now, let's save these changes. Click on Save Changes, and your records will be updated. It may take some time to propagate. Meanwhile, let's start the installation process. Copy your IP, paste it here, and open PuTTY. When you connect for the first time, you'll see this prompt. Type yes. Type login as root and hit enter. Then right-click to paste your password. Press enter. Now that you're logged into your root directory, we'll run the commands I'm providing one by one. It's not too difficult. I'll tell you where you need to make changes. I'll copy the second command here. The first command is for apt update, which updates all the package lists. Run the second command here, and the third command sets the host name. Copy it from here and replace your domain in it. Replace this domain with your actual domain. Let it install, then run the next command for the host's file. The installation is complete. Now copy this command, paste it here, and press enter. After that, you need to enter a command like apt install them. Then you need to edit something in the /etc/hosts file. You'll paste a few lines there. First, edit this line and replace your domain. Then edit the file using dim/etc/hosts. Copy this and paste it somewhere in the file. I'll move it down here. To edit, you need to press a first to enter insert mode. After pressing a, add this line. After adding the line, press the ESC key on your keyboard, then type WQ and hit enter to save and quit. After that, run the commands that come next, one by one. Paste and enter each command. I'll copy and paste them one at a time. This command will take you to the iRedMail folder. Paste it, and then the installation will start. Enter and paste the next command. After running that command, you'll see something like this. Type Y and press enter. For the next few prompts, just press enter to accept the defaults. When it asks which backend you want to select, leave the first option, Open LDAP, selected. You'll see three options, Open LDAP, MariaDB, and PostgreSQL. Select Open LDAP by pressing the spacebar, then press enter. After this, you'll need to enter some information. Here's an example of what to enter. I'll open this example and show you what to do. You need to enter your domain name here. For example, teachtools.app. After that, put a comma and DC equals. Write DC equals and then your top-level domain. For example, if you have .com, write .com here. If you have .in, write in here. Look at the example I've shown above. You need to follow the same format. After that, press enter. Next, you need to set a password. I'll enter my password here. Note that it won't be visible as you type. After entering the password, press enter. Then it asks for the hostname to receive emails. You should enter mail followed by your domain name. For example, mail.teachtools.tk. So enter your hostname like mail.teachtools.tk and press enter. Follow these steps as I've explained. After that, it will ask you a few more questions. Here, these two options will appear. I've included a screenshot to show you what it looks like. There's a second option here. I'll enter it again. teachtools.tk, press enter. After that, you need to enter the password again. I'll enter the password. Type the password here. It's asking if you want to install Roundcube or SOGo. We'll install Roundcube. When I installed the Mail in a Box mail server, it had SOGo. So we'll just do Roundcube. Press enter, and it will ask if you want to continue. Type yes and press enter. The changes you've made will now be applied. You can follow the screenshots I've provided here. I've mentioned all the steps you need to take. You can also see in the video what changes you need to make. Here, Roundcube has been selected. After this, you'll see that you typed yes and hit enter. Then you'll see some output like this. It might ask you a couple more questions. After that, you'll get an interface like this. Let it complete the installation. After it's fully installed, it will ask for a few more inputs. I'll continue the video at that point. The installation is now complete. Type Y and press enter. It's asking if you want to restart the firewall now. Type Y and press enter. It's saying please reboot your system to enable all mail services. Type reboot and press enter. Your system will now reboot. You'll need to reconnect after about 4 or 5 minutes. If you try to connect immediately, it won't work. So wait for 4 or 5 minutes, then log in again using the IP. I'll pause the video now and continue after the reboot. After rebooting, you need to open iRedMail. To do this, copy your domain. Open a private tab in your browser and enter mail, followed by your domain, then /iRedMail. This will open the admin login for iRedMail. Currently, there's no SSL certificate. We'll install our own SSL later. First, let's log in. By default, the username is postmaster@ followed by your domain. Enter the password you set during the installation process. Remember, it's postmaster@ followed by your domain, whatever your domain is. Enter your domain name. After this, the dashboard will open and you can create a user there. In the dashboard, under Domains and Accounts, you'll find your domain already added. If you want to add a new domain, you can click on Add Domain. You can also create a new admin by clicking Add here. Now, let's create a user who can log into Roundcube. First, I'll open Roundcube. Simply open your website URL and Roundcube will open by default. I'll create a user called info. And set a password. Then click Add. This will create your email account. Now, I'll log in with info at my domain name and the password I just set. Click Login. Now, I'll send an email to my Gmail address. I'll use vikashnaharan199@gmail.com. I'll put hello on the message body. Click Send. Let's check if the email was sent and received. The email has arrived. It says hello. Let's check all the details. When you click on Show Original, you can see that SPF passed, mark passed. DKIM failed because we haven't set it up yet. SPF and mark were set up earlier. You can use the same details in SMTP or DMAS's SMTP test. Just enter the host name, which will be your domain, port 587, and the username will be info@. Your domain and your password. Use the same email for the from field. For SSL/TLS, set it to optional or none for now, since we haven't set up SSL yet. Click Test to run the test. It's sent successfully because TLS is available. Let's check the inbox again. You can see the test message from GMAS. Now, we need to set up DKIM. First, open PuTTY and run a simple command to generate the DKIM key. Let's open PuTTY and click Yes. Enter your password, log in as root, paste the password, and press Enter. Then run this simple command. Copy this command and paste it here. Press Enter. The DKIM code will appear like this. The hostname will be DKIM_domain key and the code will follow. There's a slight delay. Now, let's add a TXT record. The hostname will be DKIM_domain key. Copy the code that was generated. Paste it here and remove the quotation marks. After removing the quotes, put it all on one line to avoid any unwanted spaces that could cause issues in the future. Now I'll copy this. I'll cut it and paste it here. Click Paste and Save Changes. You've now completed the DKIM setup. Next, we need to install an SSL certificate. You can see it says Not Secure here. I posted instructions on how to install an SSL certificate on iRedMail. First, run this command. Then there are these two commands. Replace your domain name in them. I pasted it. I'll copy and run it. When you run the first command, it'll ask if you want to continue. Type Y and press enter. After it's installed, I'll run these two commands. I'll copy them. I need to replace my domain name here. I've copied it, so I'll run this command. Paste, press enter. Now I'll copy the second command. It's asking for an email address. Enter any email address, it doesn't have to be your actual one. Press enter. Agree to the terms by typing it and pressing enter. Now run the second command. Paste and press enter. Let's copy it again. And run this command again. Enter the same email address you used before. Enter the email address. Agree again by typing Y and pressing enter. It's done. After this, you need to run this command to set folder permissions, then this command. Copy these commands. Remember to replace your domain name. I've already done that here. I'll copy them one by one, then paste and enter. Now the second command. Paste and enter. It's done. Now we need to restart some services. I'll copy this entire block and paste it. You can do it all at once or one by one. Press enter after each line. All these services have been restarted. The SSL certificate will auto-renew. Now, let's set up a cron job for this. Paste this command here and type 1 at the end. Press enter. Copy this, enlarge the window, scroll down, and paste it here. Now press Ctrl+X, then Y, then enter to save. Your SSL certificate is now fully installed. Let's check it. You can check it in a new tab. Sometimes it doesn't show up immediately, so I'll do it here. I'll open a private tab to avoid any cookie-related issues. I'll enter the URL and see. It shows connection is secure. Our connection is now secure. What's next? You can check your score on mail-tester.com. We set up SMTP and installed SSL, so let's test it. I've copied the mail tester address. I'll paste it into the field, click Send, then click Check Score. Let's check our score to see how we did. Because the SPF and whatever else was there, I had checked here that SPF and mark are done, and what was DKIM after that? So what was its total score here? Let's see that. Okay, look here, our score is 10 out of 10 and I'll also show it here. The from email is bounced, see this one, here I had created info@arderattack.tool, okay. And our mark, etc. have all been fulfilled. DKIM is also done, DKIM signature is valid, so we have automatically got your 10 out of 10 score, which is very good. Now after warming up, then you can send emails in bulk from here. And you can also send them through any software or mail widget by entering the same details in it. And you will find the commands, etc. here. I have put 2 blocks on my website, one for SSL installation and the other for iRedMail installation. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please subscribe because in the future, many such videos related to email marketing will be coming. Thank you for watching the video.